Hey everybody, and welcome back to Living Between Paychecks Kitchen. I'm honest, Jack and Letty are still in Lake Jackson because we're separated because, COVID stuff, so we're just being safe. This one is going to be different. This might be an experiment that it might fail. This originally was a crock pot recipe, but I want to take it and try to condense it down, mostly because the chicken I have, I don't think it'll last until my one crock pot is done with the last video we were working on, the taco ranch thing. So I'm going to go ahead and cook this stovetop, so we're going to try this out, try to be as fancy as possible. Come watch me fail. It'll be fun. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, ring the little bell, do all the YouTube stuff. We very much appreciate that. Give us a like. It very much helps everything else. Be sure to check for our merch link down in the doobly-doo, man. We got like fake hands and flippers and spatulas and all kind of stuff. And since we're a small business, we very much appreciate it. Thank you very much. Now let's just get into it. Enough of me talking, man. It's food. Let's do this. I'm gonna mess that up. All right, here we go. We're gonna need some chicken. It's like a pound or so. It's just two breasts. You're gonna need a cup of the Parmesan cheese, a tablespoon of lemon juice, a cup of mayonnaise. Did I read that right? Light mayonnaise. All right. Yeah. Okay. Some mayonnaise. That's a thing. You're gonna need some. What's that? Garlic? Yeah. There's 2 things of garlic, so I got 5. And you're gonna need some butter. Just 1 stick. And some bow ties, because it's the fanciest pasta. Because you get a tuxedo, it's got a bow tie. That's fancy, right? And Doctor Who said bow ties is cool, so bow ties. Yeah, so start off, you're going to want to start your pasta water first. Go ahead and get that up and get that boiling first. Salt it if you must, but it doesn't seem to do anything, so we're just going to get out of that. Then you want to go ahead and look at your chicken. Now, if it's only 2 of you, a chicken breast piece is fine. If there's going to be more of you, cut it down. I'm going to go ahead and split it lengthwise here. Again, shout out to Andy for the knife and not stabbing me because I keep mutilating the knives. Yeah, just go ahead and split these long ways. There you go. You can cut them down to smaller if you need to. And then, wash your board when you're done because you're dealing with raw chicken. Now, garlic. Yeah, make sure you get all the skin off. I thought I had the camera rolling for that. And then you want to just cut these down. You want to try to mince it, which in World War II meant you were into guys, I guess, or something. I don't know. The British Broadcasting Company didn't help with my naming stuff. So go ahead and cut these down as best as you can. You want to go ahead and get these as small as possible. Keep wiping off the blade and chopping them down. While you're cutting stuff, go ahead and get your stick of butter. And you're going to do it at 2 tablespoon increments. You can look at here. It's actually printed on here. So you're going to do 2 of each. And just cut it down, because we're going to cook into, and then the rest of it's going to get mixed into this sauce stuff that we're supposed to put on it. So just cut it down into 2. Don't worry about it. If your knife is sharp, it'll stick. But now we got that. Get you a skillet. You want to put it medium high. Can you hear me? Okay. So medium high, because you just want to brown your chicken, right? So the best way to do that is get your butter, get all the paper off the butter. This is just 1 of the 2 tablespoon increments. Go ahead and put it in there. Now when you let it go, if it runs to one side, see if it just goes to this, that means either your skillet's warped, your oven, or your house is uneven. So you need to call somebody to get that level. Or just be sure to tilt it when you're cooking. But it's good to know if it's going to one side, because if you get grease or seasoning, it keeps running to one side, you're going to want to balance it back and forth. So once this gets to melting, we're going to add our chicken to it. You can cut it up, make it smaller, make it hurry up, but once it starts getting down there where you're starting to get the white bubbles in it, go ahead and put your chicken directly in there. If you're going to add any extra seasoning, now's the time. Get you some salt, pepper, lemon powder. Yeah, lemon pepper. What I meant to say, not lemon powder. I guess you can get like powdered lemon, lemongrass thing. But don't put it on there. Don't worry about this being too big because it will shrink down. Now, you got this to a nice boil. Go ahead and throw in your bow ties. I used about half of the box here. Just because I'm just going to be feeding me. You can use all the way up to the full box. It is definitely up to you and your portions and how many people you're going to do. But for the recipe, I just used half. Now, the rest of your butter is 3. You could probably cut this down to 2 or 4, but I'm going to use all 6. Go ahead and put this in the microwave. And you're going to get it to melt. You're going to do it 10 seconds at a time. Keep an eye on it for 10 seconds, and then it'll melt down in there. If it doesn't, it'll bubble and boil over. So just do 10 seconds, get that done, set it to the side. Now, you can keep an eye on your pasta, make sure it's not boiling over, bubbling over. Give it a nice stir every now and then. It keeps that pasta from sticking to the bottom. Now, you got that boiling, you got the meat cooking, get you a decent sized bowl or something to mix in. Get your 1 cup of mayo. I know it sounds ridiculous, but go ahead and get that out. Get you your spatula and scrape all that stuff out. Get all the mayo-y goodness. Look, it's just eggs and oil, man, so don't stress too much, but it's mayo, all right? Now, you got that. Go ahead and put your butter. And again, you could cut this down to about 2 or 4, but this was the original recipe, so I just put this in here. Then throw your minced garlic, chop that up, throw it down in there.
Mix that in there with it too. And then your cheese, you're going to get 1 cup of your Parmesan cheese, or Asiago or whatever, but it's originally that, the Parmesan stuff, and 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. Put that right on top of it. Go ahead and get all this nice and mixed up. Boogie, boogie, boogie. As it squishes around, you lose track that it's mayo, so it actually looks like a nice, rich, creamy, cheesy bunch of sauce, but remember, it's a bunch of mayo, so don't just be eating it off a spoon. It'll make your heart explode. So while you're getting that nice and stirred up, keep an eye on your chicken. It's going to start whiting on one side. It's not going to be quite brown yet, but go ahead and flip that over. Now you can see where I was talking about where it's going to start shrinking up a little bit. It's not going to take up the full thing, take up the full skillet or the full pan. You can grill this if you want, but I prefer this pan because how we're supposed to be doing this in a crock pot was the original idea, is do this for 6 hours and come back, but I figured I could just brown the chicken and then put this stuff on it for the last 30 minutes. So check your pasta. It's been in there. It's not al dente, so it's not squishy or hard in the middle. So once that's good, go ahead and strain and drain that. Don't rinse it. Just let it get strained. Set it over there. And now you got your pasta. It's starting to nice and brown on one side. Go ahead and flip it over. Get a nice brown on both sides, but go ahead and turn your heat all the way down. You want to put it at either simmer or super low. Is kind of as high as you want to go with a low one, right? So you get it in there, but don't immediately start doing it. You want to let it cool off a little bit, so you don't immediately throw the cheese in there and it'll brown and burn on the bottom of it. So put that light part of the chicken on there, cover it, let it cool off for about 10 minutes. So now it's nice and low, or at least on simmer if you have a simmer setting, so you can kind of check it and see how brown it is, because we're going to set it in here for 30 minutes with this stuff on it. So go ahead and get that bowl of stuff you mixed earlier, and with the cheese and the mayo and the lemon juice and stuff, and just put it right on top of this, right? Just kind of mash it on down in there, kind of spread it as best you can, and try to make it look fancy, but at this point you're just spreading mayo on a bunch of cooked chicken. But get it all in there. It's going to smell outstanding, but get that on there, cover it, and leave it on low for 30 minutes, man. 3-0. All right, just let it cook. It's been 30 minutes. Man, that's a lot more oil than I expected. This was supposed to be a crock pot recipe, like I said, so I don't know if that was going to take out the oil, but yeah, you can strain that or just not serve the oil. You could have cut down on the butter, I guess, like I said, from 6 to 2, but yeah, this is not healthy, but it is so good. I garnished it with a little bit of oregano and some sun-dried tomatoes that I had sitting around, a little bit of salt and pepper because there was a lot of pasta, and this was outstanding, man. This was a pound of chicken, 2 breasts, made enough for 4 people or 4 meals for 1 fat guy, if you're just going to be me, sit at home and eat this. Dressed it up, made it look fancy with a super fancy bow tie. It's the most formal of pastas, right? So you can use any kind of pasta, but I use bow ties because I think it's fancy. So this turned out really well. Again, originally a crock pot recipe. We can do the crock pot one later. I just was worried about this chicken. So this worked out pretty good. It cooked away a lot of the mayo and stuff, but it left a lot of grease. So yeah, let's cut down the butter and you'll be fine, or you can leave it in like this, man, if you're not worried about your health too much.
Well, there you have it, folks. A lot more grease than I expected, but like I said, cut down like I was just saying. You should be fine. This is outstanding. I love this. If you do it differently, you want to see us do it differently, you want to see me try to fail again, let me know. Put it down in the comments. We very much appreciate it. You can also find us at on our social media stuff. You can find us at Facebook, Pinterest, Patreon. Shout out to our patrons. Thank you very much. And you can find us at those at Living Between Paychecks Kitchen, or you can also find us on Instagram at Living Between. At short and for some reason. And I will see you next time, man. I'm going to go give me some of this. This was good. Not healthy at all. Not healthy.